how to avoid, but focus on those who are level-headed, those who have a good head on their shoulders, those who seem like they have a bright future, that are focused. And she settled, I'll have to use that word, for a gospel singer. One of the people that you and I would look at and say, yes, this young man, he knows what he's about. Unfortunately, that is where she met her doom. The kind of danger that she may not have seen dating one of the bad boys, she found in the arms of someone who professes love for God. And all of these points have brought me to the very big question. Should mental health evaluation become a requirement? Because there are too many things happening around us that make the average person say, that is not normal. This person must have taken leave of their natural senses. Something must have been deactivated for a person to bring themselves to a point where it's okay for them to act like this. I remember the health assessments I did through various levels of my life. I remember that every time I had to get admission into a school or do something, there were some health checks that were done. I had to once again check my blood group and genotype. I still remember when I was getting into school. I remember when I was trying to get married. And at every turn in my life, through the introduction of a new phase, they are asking, what is your blood group? What is your genotype? And an evaluation answers that question. Do we need to add mental health to this requirement? I'll get the answer when I return. Please stay with us.
With information comes power.
We give you more power with information. Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Apologies for that. I thought I had a break coming up. So should mental health evaluation become a requirement for entry into anything? For getting admission, for getting a job, should we start checking people's minds? Or should we maintain the status quo and hope? It's an important question begging an important answer. There are multiple channels to get through to the studio. The phone lines, of course, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. We should be live on multiple platforms where you can watch as you listen. It's at Nigeria Info PH. So send your messages to those platforms. If and when you call, please turn off your radio so we can enjoy the conversation. Keep it short, sweet, and simple. Now, I remember that for a very long time, I knew my genotype like we say at the back of my hand because I had done the test too many times, countless times. And when the time came that it seemed like it had changed, I was confused. So, should Nigerians like me know their mental health status thanks to multiple checking and testing to avoid occurrences like this? DD calls from Iwofe. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Answer to your question.
Yeah.
Or addition to your question.
Okay.
I think you just asked about jobs. What of relationships? Before anybody enters into any relationship,
Okay.
will it also be necessary to require for the mental check of the individual? I think that is another one.
Okay.
But for me, I'm heartbroken hearing the young man talking as though he just feel a sick. How mentally deranged that the young man would have seen that even people around him never noticed that, even the family or friends, even church members, that he now talks as though nothing happened, it's normal. That should tell you how the society is really, really going down. So I think the requirements for jobs, of mental checks, and other things are very, very, very necessary now. Considering the way things are going, our youth and the level of exposure with our handsets and so many activities going on, nobody's checking anybody. That is, the society, we are just all of our own. Nobody, no government, no church. Everybody just talking about what profit.
Dede, let me ask you. Hello,
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
You say it should be a requirement before getting into a relationship. If you want to get into school or get a job, it can be enforced. Because if you don't do it, you won't get the job. But how do you enforce it for a relationship? That before you date someone, you want to see the result of their mental check. That's going to be hard.
You said it will be very hard.
Yes, very difficult.
Yes, it will. But for me, just to extend it a little, I think one really needs to be sure, because whether it will be hard or not, it's a mutual understanding. Just like what is a partner or friends will agree. You show me this, I will know your genotype, I will know this, you will know this about me.
Dede,
It's just a mutual agreement.
if a
It can be
woman
reached.
if a woman you want to
And,
date, if a woman you want to date asks you for the result of your mental health check, will you not be offended?
No, I will not.
Okay.
I will not. There are so many reasons. Because of one of these things that we are hearing, I think anybody that will be angry over it has something hiding under it.
All right.
But if you are telling someone that you love the person and the person is just asking how mentally stable you are, I think you shouldn't take any offense on that. Because
All right, thank you very much. I must move on now. Susie calls from Erema. Good afternoon, Susie.
Oracle, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You have adduced certain events about human nature.
I have done what?
Aristotle was about human nature.
Okay, I didn't get the word. Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Now, Aristotle once said that man in the society was actually good and innocent, but that the society and education, information, actually corrupt the man himself. Now, are we saying that the information that the man gathers after being innocent are corrupt information? How come I and Oracle Chinedu will be in the same class, gather the same information, and I use my own to better my life and protect the society, and someone in the same class will use the same information to destroy the society?
Oh my.
Hello?
I can hear you. It's
A
breaking.
Yahoo boy did not date a criminal, did not date somebody that is actually vulnerable in the society. What is the ratio? And what is the numerics to measure who is a Yahoo boy? And that even a young man who is like also find himself in the place where he is worshiping the Almighty God. Could it be that he is all of these things that you have mentioned or you have adduced, and at the same time hiding under the auspices of the Almighty with the whole of these things? And even if you want to say we should go for mental test before getting into a relationship, at what point does mental situation or degradation erupt in a man's life? Is it that it has been from birth, or that it happened when an incident? Because somebody will say that you can never know what a man is until something happens.
Yeah.
Oracle, nothing to do with her dog. There was a girl who was murdered somewhere here in Rivers State many years ago. Her boyfriend lured her into a hotel and cut her throat. I have the newspaper in my room. I can send it to you on your WhatsApp on your program. That young boy was a copper, and they just finished school and was supposed to travel to England. And this guy lured her and beheaded and then cut her throat. When she was leaving the hotel the next morning, the receptionist asked him, "Oh boy, where is the person that you came with?" He never gave any answer until they now call the media, this thing, all these media providers. And then they also located where that guy was hiding before they arrested him. what it is that we must be vigilant in our life. Because everybody cannot be mad at the same time. Everybody cannot also be normal at the same time. But something will trigger something.
Thank you, Susie.
Thank you very much, Sister Marina community.
Thank you very much. I actually got what you said. I have abused. I thought you said abuse. That was my concern. Isaiah calls from Buguma. Good afternoon, Isaiah.
Yes, Oracle, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Let me thank you for standing for Canada. Yes, Oracle, you see, every individual, one thing we need to know that comes into this world came through a loins. And we should know that from those loins that we passed through before coming to this world, some of them are carrying transgenerational curses. And when a father, a mother is carrying such a curses, and she used that curse to bear a child, sometimes you may see that child looking very good, having a very good background or upbringing, or just like you described this young man to be. But because the course to which or where he passed through and came to this world, that course is still speaking and is very active. You will see that person the walking or living life in line with that courses. And that is why when things like this break out, would get surprised, but I want to tell you that these are things that is battling with so many people. That is why you find that men of God sometimes murder people, bury in the pulpit, do all kinds of things. They are not the ones doing it. They are being influenced by those causes in the blood of their parents. And that is why every one of us, some may be prostitution. Somebody got the cause of prostitution from his parents. Somebody got the cause of armed robbery. There are so many, name them.
Isaiah.
And that is the problem that we are battling with as humans. You understand? Sometimes you may not think it is a mental issue. But I am telling you, the greatest sickness is in the blood. And that is why they're saying that the sickness in the blood, it is very difficult to cure it.
Okay, so Isaiah, hold on. Hello, I have a question.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So if the problem is from the blood, how do you correct it?
That is why you think, how do they destroy the issues of causes? It is looking for the source to break it and make sure that it is completely and absolutely out of that blood, that translational bloodline.
By what? By what exactly? What is? Hold on. What is the activity? You've not. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you, Isaiah. Ida calls from Okoro. Hello, Ida.
I greet you, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Happy New Year, Samaraku.
Happy New Year to you too.
You know that when I look this Congo incident, I learned a lesson there. Anything crime, no matter how stubborn, I should not look for trouble.
Okay.
Because where to end me, I don't know. Because when we go commit this crime, we'll have lawyers that will come and defend us. That's why people are doing all these things. Look at how the boy is proud. Is she the only girl? If you know you catch up bed with another man, you leave her to go and carry her life. Now they will put her to prison. Not only you, their family members, their friends will not rest. Their maybe colleagues in office will not rest. So what happened in Congo, they should please do it in Nigeria. As he killed the girl, they will kill it. So that we will learn. If woman betray you, leave that woman for another woman. Go to Uniport Junction, you see a lot of girls looking for boyfriend. Then you want to kill a woman for 9 months.
Ida, I'm going to refuse to comment on that statement. JJ calls from Rumigbo. Good day, JJ.
Sam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
They just gave an address right now, but you won't take it. But
I don't need that advice, JJ.
Sam, while in the oil sector, there's a procedure of doing medicals twice a year, every 6 months.
Okay.
Right? And you talked about going for mental health check and all that. It depends on the type of job you're doing anyway. And all those things will happen. If you don't do it, you cannot go to any of the platform or stuff because of the type of job they do there. So that's taking that as an example. If you are advising that mental health is carried out, how often and on what activities? Because we have seen people who wear achebi, show to people on social media that they are happily married.
Okay.
I remember a guy in Lagos who killed his wife with a banker. If you see their Facebook post, you will know they love the street well. But at the end of the day, they stabbed that woman over 20,000. If you remember the story. So how often do we carry it out? And on what activity do we carry out, like the oil activity that you want to go to the rig and you do all those together? Okay. It becomes an issue. And how expensive it is to carry out, because you're not going to say they told somebody now the next thing. They say go bring your mental fitness certificate and all those. People don't even do genotype that you're even talking about now. They just come before you know, they say, they begin to suffer those things together. I doubt that will work in Nigeria. But for the guy who has committed that dastardly act, also not showing, even if he show remorse, what thing goes to happen? He will face the law. So that's shooting, but it's not a good one at the end of the day.
All right.
So maybe, like you also raised an issue. Has he been abusing the girl? I think Australia and Biara ain't going to lead to this one. So, a question.
All right. Thank you very much, JJ. Those are wonderful follow-up questions. If this becomes a thing, how frequently would the test be required? I think the experts will be in the best position, because I know I've heard from a dentist that I should get my teeth checked twice a year, because they know that within 6 months, it's possible that whatever you checked might not be in the same state. So the medical health professionals, mental health professionals would also tell us how frequently these checks would be required. Obina calls from Iriebe. Good afternoon, Obina. Hello.
Good afternoon to you, Chiledu, the Oracle.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yes, I think the issue of mental health is very, very paramount. I am even thinking that it is even more important for we to check our mental health than any other type of health that we are talking about. Because it is our mentality that controls every other activities around us. Those who are contesting for election, they should go through mental evaluation. Because if you look at most of our politicians or people in government, their activities and the things they engage in, my brother, I usually think there is something wrong somewhere. In relationship, look at somebody that killed his alleged girlfriend or what, telling us that he never regretted killing the girl. I think such person has mental issues.
Okay.
So I want to opine that we should take mental issues seriously. And it should be a consideration. Even before you go to the university, they check your mentality. If it is not well, they can advise you or take you to people who will use therapy or every other thing to correct it.
All right. Thank you very much,
Obina.
Very,
very important.
Thank you very much. Truly appreciate it. Daniel Loveday on Facebook says, let them start this mental health evaluation. At least let's try something new. Maybe we'll have a different result. Remember, we're live on Facebook and Twitter, I believe, at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and drop your contributions. Daniel goes on to say, for me, no need to check that for a relationship, because as you progress in life, you should have gone through mental health check through other institutions. Okay. And I have comments on WhatsApp. Ezekiel Isaiah says, knowing your mental health status does not affect how you react in an atmosphere that's caused by love. Really? It says in love, there's a thin line between love and hatred. And at that point, even a normal person can undo. Okay, I'm supposed to say something in response to this, but I'm not a professional. So I'm hoping a professional is listening and they call in. Okay. Good day, Mr. Sam. The gospel singer that killed the 7 Corps member is not a real gospel singer. The act of gospel singer involved in the killing of the innocent is questionable. There's need to know each and everyone's mental health status in society. Not all gospel singers are real. I want to take Clinton West says. And triumphant calls from GRA. Good afternoon.
Yes. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Greetings.
Good afternoon to you.
Okay. Yes. It doesn't matter the nomenclature this guy clothes himself with. Whether he's a prophet, a gospel artist, and all that. It's none of our business. But you see, we live in a very systematic society where the court has to decide certain issues. But my advice to the court would be that this matter should be well handled and it should not be delayed so that justice will be served.
Okay.
Because I wonder why a right-thinking person will do what he did. And talking about mental check, from what this guy said, I don't think he's abnormal because he spoke very soundly and he said he did not regret his actions. And to me, if not for the fact that everything like somebody has to be proven guilty before some certain, I would have said there should be no judgment again. But I am appealing that a capital punishment should be better on this guy because what he did is out of hand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, triumphant, usually the court decides what happens after the defense and prosecution have presented their cases. So your recommendation really doesn't count because, the court will do what it needs to. And for what you said earlier, speaking soundly is not proof of a person's state of mind. I mean, you should know this. There are lots of people who speak quite fluently and eloquently, but, something is not right upstairs. Just putting that out there. Samson is a notorious drug addict. I can say that with my full chest. Do you know this person personally? My deeper surprise is that his blatant opinion on why the poor girl deserves to die. Mental health should be taken seriously. Same mental health illness was what I saw recently with a female teacher abusing a pupil last week in Lagos. Medic from Transamadi says on WhatsApp. And this says, you will not understand since it is of the blood to cure. You do spiritual and medical blood transfusion. I don't know if that's connected to this conversation. I feel like it is, but still feel like it's not. Good afternoon, Chinedu. I don't think that the young man is mentally okay. However, including mental evaluation for fitness to getting married or a job would have been all right, considering the society we are in. Such evaluation can be compromised. A very sad situation we're faced with. Very sad indeed. I have a call or two to take and another story to look through. Divine calls from Woji. I've lost that call. Daniel from Eneka.
Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Daniel.
Yeah, maybe cost no they enter or you go people. So they carry cost. That's why they are doing well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on my own take. I watched the video for this morning. If you look at that guy, there's a big scar on his face and on his cheek. And a normal person look at that guy, doesn't look normal. No matter how he pretends. What am I trying to say? Yes, he did the worst, no matter what happened. Even if we try to evaluate, to put evaluation before marriage, as part of prescription for marriage,
yeah,
some girls or some men who do try to damp the consequence. I had a friend who was talking about genotype, probably SS. This guy is SS and his girlfriend is SS, and he knows the consequence. Well, how God is. So most times, most of them, both I'm talking between both them, they know the consequence. They know that this guy is balanced. But there's this deal that a boyfriend slapped a girlfriend. Why he slaps me because he loves me. He doesn't slap me, I doesn't know. So it's so complicated on that. So for me, It's neither here or there. We should just try to raise our children right so that they should do the right at right. And
All
that's
right.
about it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Daniel. Joseph calls from Eleme. Hello, Joseph.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
That you need some kind of solution to ascertain who is mad.
I'm struggling to hear you, Joseph.
That this person is mentally unstable.
Okay, I apologize. You'd have to call back, or alternatively send a message to any of our text-based platforms. I'm still on WhatsApp. Can a man also check a woman's mental health before dating her? Ndu from Oyibo. If this becomes a requirement, everyone would need to get checked and, well, submit the result to the party of interest. Somebody's complaining about the Uniport statement made by a caller. Chisom from Omagwa says, speaking soundly is not proof that someone is okay. I know someone. Oh my. Okay, I'm going to try to get that message back. Yes. Okay. How did I lose that? Well, hopefully I'll get back to it. Now, there's a second story. It's about the drop in the price of food. This is supposed to be good news. Indeed it is. Business analyst Ignatius Chukwu says the recent drop in food prices this January is due to several factors, including the harvest season, school fee payments, release of food from the National Reserve, among others. Mr. Chukwu, who is the regional editor of Business Day newspaper, tells correspondent Constance Mega that many farmers sell their harvested crops to raise money as the new school term begins. I'm not quite sure how to react or respond to this. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? On the one hand, it's good that food is a bit cheaper. On the other, the reason comes off as a desperate measure. But let's hear directly from the regional editor of Business Day.
Food responds to seasons. In the whole of Nigeria, this is harvest season. It's also school fees season. When people sell off a lot of food items, they enable them pay school fees. Another major reason is the overall inflation rate in Nigeria is not rising again. It's hovering from 35%, is coming to 34%, trying to come to 33%. Also, government policies, government releases food grains that are stored in various zones called the strategic grains reserve, for removal of tariff and lifting of some bans that allow food to come in. It's helping food prices to either stabilize instead of rising.
He, however, said unstable pricing could still disrupt the market in the future. Mr. Chukwu spoke on the impact of Nigeria's economic challenges, noting that with global inflation at about 9% and Nigeria at 34%, the country remains a high-cost zone for importers.
While Nigeria is talking about 70 to 38 down to 34 or 35, India is talking about there is a sharp increase in about 9%. The US is recording 5% increase in certain food items. Europe is dealing with between 3% and 1.8% food inflation. So if you're an exporter, by the time you get food items in Nigeria to export to Europe or America or India and Asia, you see that they're dealing with a small inflation while you are dealing with high inflation.
Okay. No one should have to deal with any of that. Now, my question is, have you experienced any noticeable impact from the drop in food prices? Or have those selling food around you been acting like the filling station operators? You know, when there's a drop in price, it takes the filling station quite some time to adjust. But when there's an increase, it's almost immediate. So call me and tell me, 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. Divine calls back from Woji. Good day, Divine.
Yeah, this is Morocco. I call because I feel so sad based on our issue on ground. The truth is, many of us in this country, that's why I didn't want to exempt myself, many of us in this country, we are mentally unstable and we don't want to go for checkup. And as a result, we keep moving that way. It's not until people remove their clothes and remain in the street before you know they are mentally unstable. There are many people who are well dressed, work in good organizations, but they are mentally unstable. A few days ago, I was driving, and this young man drove past. If I was disturbing with his horn behind me, at a point, I tried to veer off the road to allow him to pass through. Close to where I was, he parked by my side of the window, the other side, and started insulting me. He insulted me and insulted me.
Uh-uh.
I cannot say whether it's his wife or somebody related to him. The woman in front now said, "Honey, can we start going?" So then he left his right hand on her face, slapped her on the back of his hand, and then drove off.
What did you do to the man?
Nothing. For him, you are not. My speed is not enough. Disappear. Let me take off. I want to run. And this is a street. There's a level, and they are not expected to go beyond about 20-40 in the street. But the way he was running, I tried to veer the road. Let him go through. So there are many mad things moving around. But in the case of this young man, from the way he spoke, and he's not regretting what he did. My dear, now somebody taking to kill. Somebody gave birth to that child. I don't think this young man should be spared. His own parents should also suffer what the other parents are suffering right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Divine. Let's go back to WhatsApp. A message I started reading earlier. Chisholm says, speaking soundly is not proof that someone is okay. I know someone addicted to drugs. If you engage him in a conversation, he sounds so good, quoting scriptures, right, but his actions do not match his words. This is about the sound grammar Mr. Jai was speaking. He should be properly examined. Okay? And thank God said food prices drop amidst harvest season. As of yesterday, I went to the market to buy foodstuff. Prices are still on the increase. Okay? Thank God Atwebu has not noticed the drop in price yet. Let's go back to Facebook to see if we have more comments. Belema Fibika says, for where food price drop, we're still buying Gari 3 cups, 500. Rice, 500, 1 cup. Beans, 500, 1 cup. The government is not doing well. I had to rephrase that. And Joel says, I would think his case is more than mental checkup. It's just that he cannot control his anger and envy. Being a gospel singer does not mean that you will not be angry or jealous. Until he works on it, his temperament is another issue. Before he ends up killing his girlfriend, something might have been happening along the line that he refused to work on. Okay. And Mr. Divinely is confirming the position of the person who said that food prices have not dropped yet. Joseph on WhatsApp says, good afternoon. All this one are big talk and big juice. Food is not cheap, anything. That's from Joseph. Couple of minutes to the top of the hour. I'll take a final call and wrap up this part of the show. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
I'm calling from Krika. I'm Adolphus Strong.
Go ahead, Adolphus.
Concerning what you just told us about the drop in food price, none of those prices they talked about, we've experienced that they dropped any of those prices.
Okay.
We still purchase things as they were before now. That's from the unit I talked to now. We still purchase every other thing. Rather for them to drop, they are still going high.
When was the last time you tried to buy food? When did you go to the market last?
Even yesterday.
Okay. What did you buy?
I bought rice.
How much?
I bought it 500 naira. So how come? Where did the price of those goods drop?
What market?
I bought it 500.
What market?
To my local market. I bought it at my local market in Okika.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. So 3 different persons, 2 on Facebook and 1 via call, says food prices have not dropped yet. So I'm hoping that eventually you and I get to feel it. Well, we're a couple of seconds away from 4 o'clock. The news comes up at the hour. And after that, we're looking at the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. It was yesterday, and the soldier is already complaining, as is the case every year. Stay with us.
Port Harcourt.